I'm Marci Mustello, State Representative of the 11th District of Pennsylvania. I am here today, and I'm so excited about this tour, this meeting, what we're about to talk about. I am at the Butler County Area Vocational-Technical School here at Butler High School. And I am with a very special guest, the Executive Director of this school. And I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about what they do here, what they have, what they offer, what they can do for our students here in Butler. Court, so nice to
Thank you.
It's just such a pleasure to be here today.
And
thank you so much.
And we really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to have all of you. As the representative said, we're actually the county vocational school for all 7 districts in Butler County. We have 15 programs, and we gear our programming to make sure that our students are both college and career ready. Some of our students will go on to post-secondary, many will go right into the trades. So we've been in existence since 1979, started out as the vocational programs for Butler High School, but then separated in 1979 to service the entire Butler County. So we have around 930 students right now. We have 3 2-hour sessions, and it allows us to service a lot more students that way.
Right. And you handle all of the entire county comes here. Seneca
Yes.
Valley, Karn City, Freeport.
Well, no, actually not. Freeport's one that does not, because actually, even though there's 2 townships in Butler County that don't attend, and Buffalo is one of them. But no, we handle the other 7 districts. So if you South Butler County, which is Knock High School,
right.
Seneca Valley, as you pointed out, Slippery Rock, Montauk, Karn City, Mars, and of course Butler.
Butler.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And presently we are in our protective services program. This is one of the 15 programs that we offer. These students are being trained in fire, rescue, EMT, and also police. You know, all of our programming is very certification driven. We want these students to leave with something that says not just I went to Butler County Area VOTech, but that I have a certification that transfers no matter where they go. And this is one of the highest certification driven programs that we have. They have certifications that range anywhere from rescue to rope skills to, and as we get outside, you'll see we've got a fire tower where they learn rappelling and they learn how to ladder skills. It's amazing, it really is. We have our own fire truck, our own rescue vehicle. We actually have even an all-terrain rescue vehicle that they use. But these students, they have their own self-contained breathing apparatus. They go through everything that is part of those 3 trades.
Is this, I just have a quick question about something. Do the students come here every day for class, or is this a couple of days a week they come here for class?
They are here, these are all 3-year programs, and every student is here every day for 2 hours. So they are separated by school. So our first session is Seneca Valley and Karn City. Our third session is Mars, Montauk, Slippery Rock, and Knock, and second session is Butler. Now, with Butler's proximity and the amount of students they send, there's actually some students theirs in first and third, but they're second session all by themselves.
Right. And the other thing that you told me that was very interesting, you're separate. You're basically your own entity. You're an independent organization,
right.
And you just happen to be at the Butler County or the Butler High School campus.
Exactly, yes. Okay. A lot of people make that mistake. They think that we're part of Butler High School. Well, we are, but we're also part of the other 6 high schools as well. So we are our own separate entity. We're like our own little school district, but we're also a subsidiary of the 7 districts. So we like to make sure those students realize that, we are separate, but we're part of your school as well. We're no different than any other elective they would take. It's just they get on a bus and they're here for 2 hours.
Right. Where do they practice? Do they practice here on campus?
Right.
So you have your own fire school, if you will, or your own.
Well, you're here. You're in.
This is it.
This is it.
Okay.
We also have all of the area around us. For instance, we'll go outside. You're going to see we have a tower where they'll practice, as I said, extrication and ladder skills and rappelling and rope skills. And then every year they'll go out in the parking lot and actually practice vehicle extraction. So they'll actually take vehicles and they'll upset them and put them in precarious positions. Learn how to. Make sure the vehicles are stable, so they have to rescue someone from them.
Right.
So, but it's the real McCoy.
Do you take donations? Like, are some of these?
We always take donations as long as it fits what's going on with our programming. But the things you see here were purchases. Okay. We use equipment grants to purchase pieces of equipment. Good. And then we keep our eyes open for what we need. And it's constantly changing. For instance, this was a recent purchase. Now this was a rescue vehicle that was a part of a fleet out in the eastern part of Pennsylvania.
Oh.
And so, but it fit our needs, so we ended up purchasing it, going out and getting it. And because this is kind of nice because they have a very tight knit of people who are in fire and rescue. we ended up getting a tremendous deal on it because of
Good.
the fact it was coming to a school. As you can see, it came from Mount Bethel.
I see that,
So,
yes.
but it fits our needs, and it's just another opportunity for the students to gain some real world training.
This is great.
On the
This
equipment.
is great. Where are we going next?
Well, our next stop is going to be welding. So this is our welding and fabrication program. Once again, as I said before, all of our programs are very much geared to produce industry certifications for the students. And the driving entity here is the AWS. So these students are leaving with AWS certifications that will transfer anywhere else in the United States. And another important thing I said before is our students, we train them to be college and career ready. So many of our students will go right into the trades, and for instance, these students can go right into welding, making $20 an hour within a year or two from graduation. And another thing we really gear towards is getting our students into the trade unions. For instance, the steam fitters. So these students, if they would get into the steam fitters union, it wouldn't be long before they were making six figures with overtime. And you can imagine being in your 20s with that kind of money. Yep. So the opportunities are actually endless, from a small local fab shop all the way up to a trade union where they'll go all over the United States, and travel. So, and we've actually had students say that. They've had that opportunity and say, you know what, I want to stay home. Or the other students say, no, I want that adventure.
And there's opportunities everywhere.
And that's the key. There
in
really
Butler
are.
County, there's a lot of opportunities. All of Western Pennsylvania, we're seeing a lot of growth with the
exactly right. The cracker
natural
plant.
Gas, the cracker plant, the natural gas industry. I mean, how many students do you have now in the welding program? And again,
we have 10
through 12.
It's 10 through 12. We have 3 sessions. We're just short of 90.
That's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. It took off. This program was added when we expanded about 8 years ago, and it just continually grown since then. The opportunities are there. It's amazing. Part of these kids, they know where the opportunities are, and they take advantage of it. It's excellent.
That's great, and it's a good avenue for them also that they might not want to go to a 4-year school. This is something that they really enjoy.
Right. Yeah.
Now the instructors. How many instructors do you have just for the welding program?
We have 1 instructor and we have 1 full-time instructional assistant.
That's it?
Yes.
For the 90 kids?
Right. So you've got about 25 to 30 per session. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have 3 sessions.
Okay,
right,
great.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Can we walk around?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
No. Yeah. Absolutely. You got your safety glasses on. You're good to go.
Ready to go.
Now these students right here, as I mentioned before, Skillsusa so these students are competing in a fabrication.
This is the competition for Friday.
Exactly.
Okay, sure.
So they're working on this. This is a project that they have to create, and they're actually going to be competing, doing a presentation on Friday with this.
Okay. What are they doing here? Just kind of practicing? Are they actually doing some things here?
It would depend. You'd have 3 different levels of students. You'd have some students who are just
beginners.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
sure,
They're practicing, and then as they progress, those students are working on earning their certifications.
Sure.
And as I said, in this situation, these students are actually working on a competition.
That's great.
That we're going to be competing.
And the certification that they'll get once they graduate from here, is there another certification they're going to need in the real world, or can they transfer that certification?
I would say every trade is different. So every student who completes our programming is going to get a certificate of completion. The students who excel will end up with a certificate of excellence, but that will be just from us. And maybe if they leave the area, maybe that wherever they end up won't recognize Butler County Area Vocational-Technical School and what we do. So what we really work on is that they can earn a nationally recognized certification in all of our programs. And for instance, the main certifications that are offered through welding is through the American Welding Society, AWS. And that's going to be recognized anywhere.
Yes.
And that's just one. There's actually several others as well.
Okay. All right, great. Great. This is wonderful. So they're just practicing here now, or is there a class actually?
Oh no, every single student, they are working. So the way career and technical education works is every program has what's called a task list. And these are the jobs that every student has to be able to complete before they graduate. So they will actually physically be working on jobs that are dictated by the curriculum. And then sometimes once they master those, they'll have the opportunity to work on certifications. Okay. And as I said, in some students we work in this situation and sometimes there's even outside work where they'll actually work on as well, projects.
Okay, great. Wow. This is wonderful.
So this is the sports medicine program. This is a brand new program, first year for this. This is a program we're really excited about. It's getting more and more popular throughout the state. These students are going to go on, and most of these students will probably go into post-secondary. So these students will be going into things like exercise physiology, sport, training, physical therapy, those types of things. So, but it's Dr. Hyler and I did the recruiting for this. It was an empty room, and she and I were trying to get kids interested, and we still ended up with over 20 students in our first year. So we think that's probably going to double in a year and maybe double again without any trouble at all. So this is, like I said, a very, very popular program, and we're really excited about it.
How do you market this to the students? Like, how do the students know
Right.
that there is a new program, existing programs? How do the students know this?
So what we do is we have tours for every freshman. So we're a 3-year program. So every freshman in the county, we encourage the high schools to bring up, and we actually have an organized tour where they can see every single program that we offer and get a real wide, ranging variety of what they can choose from. And it's hard because you're talking about 14, 15-year-olds trying to make a decision like that, but it's amazing. They make good decisions, and it really is impressive.
Oh, yeah. Now, this program you said just started this year.
Correct.
So if a senior student wanted to join, they can start it without the requirement of 3 years?
And we do that regardless. Because we never, ever want to hold a kid to a decision they made as a freshman in high school. We get many first-year seniors, or we get many first-year juniors. Exactly. Our programming is designed for a 3-year delivery, but if a kid is a senior and says, you know what, I kind of blew it. I really wish I would have done, come on over.
Yeah.
So this is our heavy equipment program, and the best way to describe this is anything with an engine that's not a car. I mean, they'll work on things from string trimmers, tractors, all the way up to heavy equipment and tractor trailers. They'll work on gas engines, diesel, hydraulics, pneumatics. They'll do some welding, fabricating, the type of things they're going to have to do in the trade. And it's funny because a lot of these kids, when they work, they may be working outside, because when a truck breaks down at a coal mine, you can't haul it back. You fix it right where it is. So it's a hardy breed, but the pay is tremendous in these fields. Some of those kids who are like the people who will end up working for, say, Caterpillar, and they're on the road calls, they'll make $50 an hour.
How many students do you have in this program here?
We're about 60 students in heavy equipment. Yeah, so a majority of our programs aren't quite full, but they're darn close. And as I said, we have 930 total, so you can see there's not a lot of elbow room in a lot of the programs. So don't doubt about it. We're fortunate that Butler County really values what we do, and the students really appreciate it, and they take it full advantage of it. But good.
Where do you get all of these engines, the tractor, the truck?
A lot of these are definitely donations. Okay. So, but once we also will utilize equipment grants for things like we've got a diesel engine trainer over there that we will purchase, but our instructor has very good ties to the local Hunter truck sales and some of the others in the area, and they really take care of us with donations.
That's great.
And it's very helpful.
A lot of community support. That's wonderful. You have that here.
And something a lot of people don't know is the path that our teachers take. You're not talking about someone spending their life in education and coming out at 22. You're talking about someone who's devoted their life to their craft. And now they've decided, I want to give back. So they're leaving the industry and they're coming here, and a lot of times they've had zero college. So now they're taking on this brand new, experience of being a teacher, working with the students, doing what they love, but then also going to college at night and getting all the credits they need to be a certified teacher, because we're a PDE certified teacher, just like a teacher at a high school or an elementary school.
Well, that shows dedication too.
Tremendous.
These people love their trade and they want to share it with the young people.
No doubt.
I mean, that's a good thing to have. It really is. You got to admire the teachers here, and I didn't know that about them. How many teachers do you have in this section? Still one instructor?
Just one. We have 3 programs that have 2 teachers, but we have instructional aides that will float and assist. If a program, say, has a high number in one of the sessions, as I said, we have 3 sessions, then we will provide some support with an instructional assistant. But if we ever get a program that just keeps expanding, then we add another teacher.
Is this one expanding? Do you see this one?
It's staying very steady. It's one of our higher attended programs, and it's staying consistent.
That's good. Are there any programs that you've seen through your 11 years here that have been here and have kind of faded out, and really not a need for it? What are some of those ones that have? One was computer-aided drafting.
If you go back in time, the computers it took to run those programs were very expensive. The software was very expensive, so it made sense to centralize it at a county career center. But when those PCs were under $1,000 and they're giving the software away, the high school started to start their own programs, and the kids just didn't see the benefit of coming here when they could get a facsimile of the program at their high school. So the program just phased itself out. And you'll have that. You'll have as things change. Just like there's probably a buggy whip program at one point in time, but you know what? It happens.
Right. Now, are you governed by a board? Do you have your own VOTEC board?
We do. It's called a joint. It's called a joint operating committee, and it's made up of members from the sending district's boards.
Oh,
so yeah,
okay.
and it's determined. We have 7 sending districts. So the school that sends the most students places 4 members on our board.
Okay.
So Butler has 4, and then the next 2 highest senders send 2 each, which right now is South Butler and Seneca Valley, and then the other 3 have 1 member each.
Okay.
Excuse me. The other 4 have 1 member each.
Okay.
Excuse me. Yes.
And do you have to go through the board to get a new program, to eliminate a program?
Right.
So they're the ones that,
Yes.
and I'm sure they see the need for it also.
And that's incumbent upon me to make sure they understand that.
Right.
Career and Tech Ed is completely committee driven, from the programs all the way up through the administration. So each one of these programs has an occupational advisory committee. It's made up of members of the community. It's made up of tradespeople, business owners, those types of things.
Right.
But so you go on up. I have a committee that as a general advisory committee, that's community members. I also have a superintendent's advisory committee. That's all the superintendents.
Yes, you would.
So exactly. So
Yeah.
there's committees across the board, and we come together to make the best decisions for our students.
That's good. And you have, I guess, autonomous authority to make those decisions with regard to your board, superintendent's board, or you're not governed at all by the school boards themselves, right?
Well, no, actually we are, because our joint operating committee is representing their own boards. Exactly, as they make the decisions. So absolutely, no, we are a function of those 7 districts.
Okay.
So all of those, we call that the joint board. That's all 63 members of the county. They all have say.
And also to get students interested, involved in the VOTEC, you start them out as freshmen. You invite all the freshmen who are coming in from all the 7 school districts that are coming here, and you invite them in and get them interested and show them around.
We actually reach out sooner than that. We're constantly going to the elementary schools and talking about what we do. But we actually, every year we have our expo where we are open to the public, so everyone come up and see what we do. We send out an invitation to every 7th, 8th, and 9th grader in the county. Invite them up, come up, see what's happening.
Right.
And we tie that in with our tours. So the hope is, as a kid comes through as a freshman, he tours, he says, "Boy, I kind of like this." He gets mom and dad to come up and take a look, and then they can buy in as well.
That's great. That's great.
So this is our HVAC program. That stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. These students are learning every aspect from residential to commercial to industrial. All different types of heat, whether it be gas, oil, electric, reverse cycle chillers, geothermal. They'll do some wiring, residential wiring, sheet metal, fabrication. Everything that goes into the industry is all done here. And he has a tremendous tie to the sheet metals union, which is all in Western Pennsylvania, because the man who was part of their apprenticeship, his son came here and was very successful. So they gobble up all of our seniors, everyone they can get. As a matter of fact, they were just about that long ago that about 30% of their apprenticeship class all came from this program. So they're tremendous. It's a tremendous program. These kids can go out and work and make great money, either a residential program or a local affiliate, or maybe they'll go into one of the trade unions. The opportunities are endless. And something I mentioned before is that the students in all of our programs have a chance to participate in SkillsUsa, and they can compete against students from other schools. Well, this is such a highly successful program. Every time he has a student with a state medal winner or a national medal winner, he retires their shirts. He saw an article once where they were talking about a football program in the county and said, well, no one ever talks about our kids, so I'm going to do this. So just to show the tremendous skill and dedication that goes into these programs, he wanted to let people see just exactly what can happen. But this is one of our construction cluster programs. We also have a carpentry and a building construction program.
Okay.
The carpentry program, they do a lot of finished carpentry. We saw welding, but we also have part of our manufacturing is our machine tech program. Once again, there's a program that we can't supply enough machinists for the industry. I mean, they'll come in. They were taking every senior, putting them on co-op, employing them immediately. Then they started co-oping the juniors. Now they're taking the sophomores and working them in the evenings. They can't get enough. And these kids are making great money. Are
they working locally here?
Oh, yeah.
Are they going,
no, local. Local. There's
all local companies?
all local.
that you have good partnerships
yeah, good partnership with Penn United, Oberg, and then Jay Bauer, and there's several others that we can't supply them. We don't have enough kids. It's amazing. And in our transportation cluster, you saw our heavy equipment program, but we also have a collision repair program where they're learning how to paint and fix all the things that go along with a car that's hit a deer or hit a pole. And we also have an automotive technology program where those students are going to be learning how to fix the mechanicals of the vehicle, diagnosing, troubleshooting, all the computers that are involved. It's tremendously complex. So those students really need a sound, a background in electronics. Some of our hospitality, we have a cosmetology program where we actually serve the public. People can come in and get their hair done. They can make an appointment.
Nice.
Where they'll do manicures, pedicures, facials, the whole kit and caboodle. And of course also our culinary program where from March to May, 4 days a week, we have a restaurant that functions and serves the public. We also have our commercial baking program where they make cookies.
I've used that. Yes, I have.
Absolutely, yeah. And then actually our largest program is our health assistant program. We have over 100 students in that program. And those students are going on, majority of those will go out and to post-secondary, maybe in the nursing programs, or they'll become medical doctors, a lot of them. But it's that background. But some of them will go out and get a job immediately because they offer a patient care technician that transfers to lots of hospitals and entry-level positions in doctors' offices as well. So the students have an opportunity, they have choices, there's different pathways. Some may go to post-secondary and take advantage of the articulated credits that they've earned. Some may go right to work, take advantage of this booming economy. But the opportunities really are endless.
They really are. Oh yeah, there is so much going on at this school. I just wish more people could come up, see it, and really see for themselves what these kids are doing, what these students are learning, and how they're going to move on into the future. I mean, CTE education is so vital to our nation right now. I mean, you're talking about it now, they're going into sophomore classes, getting them to work. And do the kids, I assume they love what they're doing. I mean, they love
you tell
what they're
me,
doing.
you walked around and seen the programs. How many kids did you see standing around?
I know. You know what else I've noticed? The pride the kids have in what they're making. The pride, when I was talking to them, what are you doing here? They just have so much pride in their skill and what they're learning, and they know that there's something out there for them. After these 3 years, they could go on, like you said, to 4-year, 2-year, right into the workforce. And this is what we need more of, and this is great. You're providing one heck of an opportunity for the students. This is great. I cannot thank you
very
enough.
much. We appreciate it.
I can't thank you enough.
And we appreciate that you came.
This is great. I want to thank you all for joining me today as we did a wonderful tour here of the Butler County Votech. I hope you all learned something and really encourage young people to get involved in the trades, because the one thing I really learned here today is the pride these kids have in what they're making, what they're doing, and I really hope it carries over into their future. Thank you so much for joining me.